Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to all participants. Okay, selamat pagi. Saya Dr. Normi Abdul Hadi daripada Fakulti Sains Komputer dan Matematik UiTM Shah Alam, dan bersama dengan saya pagi ni penceramah kita iaitu Profesor Madya Dr. Norma Alias dari pensyarah daripada Universiti Teknologi Malaysia Johor Bahru. Okey. Jadi sebelum kita mulakan sesi webinar bersama Dr. Norma, ingin saya perkenalkan sedikit latar belakang Dr. Norma. Okey, Profesor Madya Dr. Norma Alias merupakan pensyarah daripada Fakulti Sains UTM dan juga merupakan seorang task force di dalam UTM Online Teaching and Learning. Okay, dari segi pengalaman, Dr. Norma berpengalaman sebagai Research Fellow di Ibn Sina Institute for Scientific and Industrial Research UTM dan juga di King Saud University Saudi Arabia. Okay. PhD Dr. Norma merupakan Parallel Computing. Okay, Dr. Norma berpengalaman dalam melebihi 20 orang PhD student, okay, melebihi 20 orang Master of Philosophy dan juga postdoctoral. Okay. Jadi tanpa membuang masa lagi, okay, saya mempersilakan Dr. Norma untuk menyampaikan webinar beliau bertajuk Data Analyst and Data Scientist, How Mathematics Student Prepare for It. Okay, dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much to Dr. Nomi. Alright, I'm an associate professor, Dr. Norma Alias from University Technology Malaysia. Okay, I want to share some knowledge on, okay, let's we go to change my slide here. Okay, on the data analyst and data scientist for the green future. So the follow-up from this talk from Professor Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Janur. So we continue to the session of data analyst and data scientists. How we are mathematician, okay, we are statistics students, prepare for it, right? Okay. I like to share with this topic because my background is more on the mathematics, numerical analysis, using high performance computing to solve a big data simulation, a big data model, and now we go to the big data analytics, using some methods on machine learning, deep learning, and then they will solve a large sparse problem or big data out there, right? So now let's refocus to the presentation. Okay, I'm going to use some tools. For example, here I'm using PowerPoint to describe information about what is a big data, what is a data scientist, a data analyst, the qualification, the skill, and then the responsibility of the data scientist and data analyst, okay, for their job spec, the roadmap to become a data scientist and data analyst, and then what's the difference between, okay, that big data and high performance computing or cloud computing to adapt the big data simulation, the successful data analysts and data scientists in 2020 in future, and what is the future of data scientists and data analysts, and the last is some conclusion. All right, so I just noticed, okay, there is QR code for your attendance. Okay, you can go for the QR code. Maybe Dr. Nomi can help because now the visualization is based on my presentation. They can go to the chat room, okay, the link, and then they can click through the link for the attendance. Okay, you are going to have, I think, a certificate based on the attendance online. All right, so now let's refocus to the our presentation. Okay, nowadays people looking the big data to do a visualization, okay, in the mathematics aspect or statistics aspect. All right, because we are quite familiar with some mathematical or statistical software to do a visualization. For example, here, okay, the movement, okay, of temperature behavior in the region, in the globe region, and then the increasing of the melting process of the Antarctica region. And then you can see also here the temperature behavior, okay, over the head, left brain, right brain, and center of the brain. All right. So we can do a visualization, we can do the image processing. All right. We can also detect the wave, okay, abnormal wave in the brain. All right. This is because now we are in the fourth industrial revolution. We are doing, okay, so many technologies related to fourth industrial revolution. For example, AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, 3D printing, blockchain, people looking for the blockchain, all right? And then, of course, easy to get data by using drone, okay? And the technology that we are going to highlight here is a predictive analytics using the big data analytics, and there is a list of machine learning method to make sure that the prediction is accurate, precise, and so on. All right. So in this case, in the fourth industrial revolution, we are emphasized on the cyber physical system, where now we talk based on the device to device, right? Device to device. So there is the digital transformation. When we have a device, we have so many types of data, okay, not just data at the Facebook, data at the YouTube, okay, data at the Instagram or Netflix, or you can also quite familiar with the WhatsApp, all right? So you can see here, okay, data always increase, okay, from the middle 2019, 2020, they increase drastically for every minute, all right? For example, here you can see in the Facebook, 1 million in 2019. Now there is 1.3 million login to the Facebook, right? So when we deal with the big data, okay, before this, we are focused on the three types of data. You can see here what is the three types of data. It's very clear, okay. Start from the variety, volume, and the velocity, right? What is the volume? Volume, okay, for example, in your data here, in the data bank here, only provide gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, yottabyte, all right? So they're increasing every second. And then velocity is how speed the data to the server, income to the server. For example, to your handphone, how speed, maybe every second, every minute, every month, every year, all right? And then the last is a variety of data. There are so many variety of data. For example, if you look at your handphone, all right, there are images, there are sound, there are video, there are numbers, okay, there are text and so on. So what types of data that we want to deal with as a mathematician and statistic? We have many types of the primary and secondary data that we can analyze. But nowadays, you can see here, okay, let's be focused, okay. Um, there are another 7 elements, okay, talk about big data. Okay, we can categorize at the volume of data. For example, okay, how to use the analytics or the metrics or the measurement to find the performance of data. So we will call as a value of the data. And then second, the important is a veracity. Veracity, how messy the data. Is it can be trust, or the quality or accuracy of data can be questioned, all right? So we call as a veracity. And then the new element now is a viability, where whether the data work successfully to predict the environment, the outcome, okay, to do the observation, the monitoring, and so on. And then the last is a visibility, is how the state of being able to classify the data, to get attention and prominence of the data. So there is too many V here, all right? Before this, it's only 3V, but now people, okay, go to the 7V. All right, so now next we go for one company. This is a personal care product. All right, so for example, cosmetic product. All right, so in this company, they develop up to 3 trillion sample per year. Okay, to have a good care product. Okay, to commercialize a product. Okay, care product, cosmetic product, for example. So how we want to analyze the efficient the best market based on the 4 trillion sample per year. So in this case, to make a decision, okay, it's not easy because okay, we need a data to support the decision. Okay, so data engineers will collect the data, okay, from maybe from the questionnaire, from the previous okay customers, feedback from the customers, okay, and then from here, okay, the as a data scientist, for example, we are mathematics and statistics. Okay, we are can be able to be a data scientist, and then based on the very good mathematical okay, background, statistical background. So this behavior can provide the decision think, okay, the design thinking to make a decision. So this is based on the leveraging data, okay, to enable making a decision, right? So where we are, okay, of course, in this okay Venn diagram, you can see that we can emphasize okay to data modeling. We know how to do a model based on the fundamental mathematics and statistics that we have. And then second is a support okay data analytics. Okay, maybe okay we can create okay one method okay to do the data manipulation, data processing, data cleaning. All right. So this is a data analysis come from. Right. So if we have good information, good knowledge on data communication, or software development is a considered as a very good aspect. So now the question here, why we need to go okay to big data? Because we know that the limitation of small data is what is based on the an accurate result. Okay, it's not be confirmed to do a observation, to do a good prediction, all right, to have a clear visualization, for example, in multi aspect, okay, in multi-dimensional, right? So for when we do a transformation to the big data, means that we are using penta, zeta, ESA, all right, now tera, people looking for the terabyte. So okay, the result is much, much more convincing. High resolution will be created in the multi-dimensional, how you create the data, how you classify and categorize the data. So in this case, there is a skill. Okay, for example, okay, there is a programming that involved. Okay, nowadays people looking for R, Python, all right, CUDA, all right, and then MATLAB distributed computing and so on. All right. So this is a modeling, simulation, and visualization that we are always play with. Okay, almost our life as a mathematician and statistician. Okay, they know how to do a model. They know to handle a big data simulation and then convert to the visualization, right? So in do that, all right, okay, in the era of the data science, okay, the higher volume, okay, of the business and the one of specific business, where we can create a data and then we can analyze using artificial intelligence aspect, all right? And then it's come from the technology of machine learning, okay, maybe they can use the simplest one is a neural network, and then if the data is huge, they can go to the deep learning, all right, and then the middle one is predictive analytic. Okay, in this case maybe they can apply the statistical modeling, mathematical modeling, do a forecast, multivariates. Okay, this is a function for the predictive analytics, all right. So the basic, okay, the low standard, okay, the low value of the business is just a dashboard, okay, dashboard, and then they can do some simple visualization and then reporting. All right, so you can see the complexity of data from reporting to analyze data using machine learning and get the decision based on the artificial intelligence aspect. All right. So before this, okay, when we talk about knowledge of the data science, people said that okay, there is how to hack a skill, okay, how do a hacking skill, how to get optimum mathematics and statistic knowledge, right? And then how to do a machine learning, okay, and then where is the dangerous zone, all right? And then the fundamental research, the very basic research to support the mathematics and statistics skill. Okay, in this case, maybe you need a theorem, corollaries, definition, formulas, and so on. But now, people looking for this one is more on the knowledge discovery in database. Okay, there is a database, but there is a knowledge, there is a decision making, there is process of monitoring of observation, okay, using the data modeling and data analytics. All right. So people always asking how big data analytics works. Okay, there are so many ways to do. Okay, the first is okay pattern. Okay, pattern of the data, or we call it as a data mining, as the first stage, as the fundamental. Second is forecast. Okay, the data, and then to see the behavior of the customer, and towards the end there is a future development of the specific company, what is the decision making they want to go through. All right. And then now looking for the machine learning, where we develop the algorithm to analyze the large data set. And then because of the weaknesses of machine learning, okay, they need to go through process, for example, okay, feature extraction, classification, all right, and then go to the keep pre-processing data first, and then go to the analysis and so on. But however, we can skip using the deep learning. Make sure that the data is a big, okay, is a really true big, okay. For example, tera, zeta, iota, byte, okay, data size. Okay, when we go for the data learning, okay, what types of data? Just now we said that there is a 7 types of data. Now, okay, how to do a learning process of the data? There are 2 types. Okay, the basic is a unsupervised learning. For example, okay, the data is unlabeled. Okay, the voice come from my, okay, mouth is unlabeled data. All right, unsupervised. Okay, all right. So for the data supervised, for example, labeled. For example, okay, the schedule. Today we meet at 10:30 on 24th of December. This is a labeled data. All right. So this is a there's the difference between the labeled and labeled, or supervised and unsupervised learning. For supervised learning, okay, means that labeled data, okay, this is mostly a secondary data. You can do a classification, all right. Most of types of classification you can apply here. And then the important is we can draw the line, the regression, whether the graph is a linear, parabolic, cubic, all right. So we can draw the graph. Okay, there are so many ways to do a regression. Okay, in numerical, okay, we can apply integration, all right, curve fitting. We can also apply, okay, solving a nonlinear system equation, all right. And then the second is assemble. Unsupervised learning, okay, for example, the data like, okay, so many music, okay, too many image, all right, there is no types of the pixel of the images is a primary data, all right. So we can do a clustering, or we can do the we need to do dimensionally reduction, because there are so many parameters variable involved, so we do the dimensional reduction. Okay, let's we go to the example here. All right, the differences between the labeled and unlabeled, okay, data, or supervised and unsupervised learning. All right, so Dr. Nomi, let's refocus this. Okay, refocus the slide. All right, so okay, for simplest, okay, I go to the simplest. Okay, when we buy a house, we know the price of the house. Okay, the developer will give us a final list of the price housing. So there is a labeled data. And then, okay, without any, okay, so much, okay, effort, you know the area, the location of the house, the developer of the house, and then you know the how to predict, okay, for your account to buy the house, whether you want to buy a loan, buy cash, and so on. So there is not so much involved on model and algorithm. You just use common sense, the logic thinking to do the process of labeled data. However, unlabeled data or unstructured data, so what you do, okay, there is a many effort. Okay, for example, the land chop. Okay, I'm staying in Johor Bahru, so the Nusa Jaya is area to my area here. So we want to find whether the Nusa Jaya developed very fast or not by looking at the GIS system. okay, the land chop. Okay, so in this case, the data is unlabeled. You just go to the Google Map or Google image here. You can get the where is the road developed, where the road changes, where the river changes, and then how much the percent of the green area and so on. And then we start looking to process the data from GIS, Geoinformation System, whether you can use many methods. Okay, you can use segmentation, GAC, okay, Goretic active control model, okay, focus on the area itself, on the region itself. So you need to think, okay, whether you want to use the types of machine learning or data analytics. So I think this we can answer, Dr. Noni. Am I right?
Dr. Norma.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have you have a lot of experience in handling big data. Okay, because you are managing 3 parallel computer systems laboratories in UTM. Okay, and you are also a leader in grid computing lab, mathematical parallel software, and a lot of software for parallel computing. So, based on your experience in managing and supervising students, so what is actually their skills, or what is actually what they need to be a data scientist and data analyst?
Okay, let's we share here, right? Let's we share here. Thank you very much, Dr. Noni. Okay. Mm, okay. From here you can see um, there is the first is we need to know what is a data scientist and what is a data analyst, what is different between data scientist and data analyst. So in this case, I love if I can focus on their job specification, all right? So this is amongst question from my student. Okay, my student said that how to become data analyst and data scientist. Okay, can I look, okay, because now in the COVID pandemic 19, so can I look towards data scientists and data analysts, all right? It's very a good job, okay, especially in this condition, okay, new norms, COVID-19 pandemic. So there is no, I have no expose on programming. So how I can be a data analyst and or data scientist? Okay, the other question is, if I have a degree in computer science, okay, it is a compulsory or this is the not compulsory, okay, to be a data analyst and data scientist. So people from mathematics and statistics will be said that I'm not degree from computer science. So to answer this question, okay, I love to share with you the video. Okay, if I can share with you the video, okay, okay, stop sharing. All right, I share already the video. It's come from my student. Okay, my student said that, okay, this is a feedback from my student. They said, okay, we need to, we believe that now is a data scientist and data analyst or data engineers is among the top 10 career, okay, in the world right now because people looking all in virtual, all in digital. So there is power is already tested, okay, there is also proven solution, all right? So there is also said that the data analysts and data scientists can help the thousand of company across the world, all right? And then they believe there is a high payment job with the constant requirement, and this is a trading career path for the decades ahead. So let's we go to the feedback from my student. Okay, they believe, okay, this one of my student answer. Okay, okay, let's we read, okay, because the student, my student, what this student is quite busy. He is a data analyst in one company, okay, in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, I asked him a question, and this is his answer. Okay, the question is, what is the responsibility as you be a data scientist? He said that is make sure that we need to know the meaningful business insight. Means that we need to know the business practice in the company insight, means that it's very global, right? So what is the requirement to become a data scientist? Because I know she is doing PSN with me, and this is his answer. He said that the first is analytical, because he learned about the big data analytic, and then logical thinking skill. So what is the various, okay, what is the various step in the analytic project? Okay, because he is handling the project. The first is identify the problem, use a pre-process and clean the data, remove a noise, and then visual the data and improve the business performance. And then I asked him, what is a three skill for data analyst? Okay, he said that the first is what? Analytical, means that big data analytic and logical thinking. All right. So what is the strength to be a data analytic? Okay, he said that the strength is what? Is detail oriented, and then thinking in critical and logic. So this is his strength. So one of the answer, okay, from my friend, you can hear, okay, from Azil.
I am a Master by Research student under Dr. Norma and Prof. Tahir. And today I would like to answer a few survey. So currently I'm working as a software developer in Billion Prima Sendirian Berhad. So let us start in answering the survey. So the first one, what is the responsibility of data analyst? So for me, the responsibility for data analyst is to extract meaningful information from the data that could be used in our daily operation. And the second one, what is required to become a data analyst? First of all, a strong knowledge, a strong background in mathematics, especially in statistics, machine learning, and modeling. And then the second one is a good understanding in programming knowledge, like R or MATLAB or Python. So the third one, what are the various steps in an analytic project? So for me, the first step is usually for us to clean the data, to get rid of the irrelevant or the first step is irrelevant or outliers, and then to analyze the data using statistical methods, and then to present the information that we extracted to the client. And then what are the top 3 skills for data analysts? For me is mathematical skills, statistical skills, and programming skills. How do you interest in this career as a data analyst? So for mathematician, there are not too many job opportunity, but one of the biggest is being a lecturer or teacher, and then the other one is to become a data analyst or a data scientist. So for me, the better choice is to become a data scientist. And then finally, what are your strengths in data analyst? For me personally, I think my strength comes from the strong background knowledge in mathematics. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. So the other aspect is come also from my student, okay, Dr. Lim. Dr. Lim now at the company as be a data scientist, okay, in Kuala Lumpur also. All right. My question to Dr. Lim, okay, what is the responsible of the data scientist? So the answer is, okay, extract latent information from the data, right? Means that we need to visualize the meaningful way whether the data is visible, okay, variable, right? So the requirement of data analyst is for the important is be a good fundamental in mathematics, especially in statistics and programming. Okay, never mind, we are in university always train student to be logic in doing a programming. So I asked Dr. Lim, what is the step in doing the analytics project? So the first is that is understand the context and objective, do a data acquisitions, okay, data for pre-processing, modeling, and then analyze the result based on the what I learned, okay, is a numerical or big data analytics, okay, aspect. What is a three skill for the data analyst? Okay, the first is a programming, machine learning, and statistics. Right? Why do you get interested in this career? Because okay, passionate. All right, because of the and then underlying okay the information about the data, and towards the end okay he said that he are quite strength in the problem solving and analytical skill. Right. So now let's we go to my another student. Okay, Dr. Hafiza.
In Malaysia Japan International Institute.
Okay, let's we go fast.
As a data analysis, we need to get involved in all the process from retrieving the data, cleaning, organizing the data until the analysis part. So from the analysis part, we can give meaningful conclusion, and then we can give decision from the analysis. Okay, and the second question is that what is the requirement to be a good data analyst? So to be a good data analyst is that someone must have a good mathematical or statistical skills. Besides that, what is important is that they must have good coding skills, for example, Python or R or MATLAB. Okay, and another requirement is that the data analyst must have the ability to analyze and interpret the data, because numbers can represent either a good or a bad result. Only data analysts can understand what the number represents. Okay, so from there, from the number, we have to analyze, we have to interpret the data so that others can understand what is the significance of the number.
All right. So let's we go to the continue our presentation. All right. So let's we share screen here. Okay, we stop. Okay. All right. So we answer already the question okay about this question. Okay, how they want how to become a data scientist and data analyst. Okay, and then I can say like this. All right. So the simplest we have an athlete, and then this athlete. Okay, the potential is just capable of running the first part of the race, but no further. Means that without skill, okay, without any design of track shoes, any design of the or any practice, okay, any coach to guide him, so they cannot go further. All right. So the next is capable of racing, able to go for the competition, entire the lab, but they have only a limited skill. Okay, they can go a one round of the lab, okay, of uh, the track meet. Okay, they can go, but we're not sure whether they can win for the competition. The next step is won't be able to run, and then they keep us to run only the second part of the race. Okay, this is a weaknesses because without any effort, for example, if we can design them track shoes with a good okay coach that empower the other runners to race at top speed, so means that the athlete can win the competition. All right. Towards the end, okay, we provide the bus responsible for getting the team to the track meet again. Right. So this is a cycle process for athlete, okay, doing the preparation before the competition. So we want to, okay, and visual this environment to the four types of job spec. The first is a, okay, data engineers. Okay, this is not our scope because we are mathematician. We have start from the data analyst. Okay, be a data scientist, and then machine learning engineer, and then towards the end is a machine learning operations. Okay, so for data engineer, they're collecting data. Okay, whether the strengths, okay, whether the athlete is have the weaknesses, the problem, okay, the health problem, whatever, they get the data, all right, from the specific environment companies, okay, make sure that the problem is a grand challenge application, all right. The second is data scientists will do a data cleaning. That's just now the Lim said that, okay, data processing, creating a final product. And then one of my students said that they need to have a dashboard or report, all right. So this is a basic, okay, what they do, okay, is a transforming the signal to digital data to do the exploration of the source data and so on. All right. So we can classify in this case whether they're labeled, okay, unlabeled, structured, unstructured, primer, secondary. All right. So this level. Next, okay, data scientists come in to have their, okay, they are good, okay, they are good in the statistics methodologies or mathematical modeling, okay, data modeling to create a complex data product, to do a classification, to do the classification, and then to do the prediction, to do the regression, to do the assemble, all right, to do the dimensional reduction. So that's we're doing because they have the statistic powered model or mathematical model, all right, for data modeling. And then this is a process for the preparation, go for the analysis, all right. Sometimes the analysis is not accurate, like Dr. Hafiza said just now. All right, so that's why we need machine learning engineers, okay, to studies the data. If the data is huge, big data, okay, large parts, so the deep learning come in. They bring the state of art, the solution of data science. And in this case, there are so many efforts. They can use a cloud computing or GPU based computing to analyze the data to support a huge or big data simulation. In this case, okay, maybe they start testing, okay, using the machine learning algorithm, for example, okay, artificial neural network, all right, convolutional neural network, all right, extreme learning, okay, and then get the performance. All right, this is one of the process transformation. And then the last job, okay, spec is a machine learning operations. This is a create a new vision, okay, means that upgrading the version or the machine learning, all right, the automation process, okay, to accessible for end users and use in the real, can be applied in the real application to make a classification and then prediction, to do a collaboration, and then there is a communication between the machine learning operators or engineers to the data scientists, all right, because the algorithm is come from the fundamental is come from data scientists. This is a process to manage the production in machine learning life cycle. So towards the end, okay, what is the bus driver come in? They used to mentor, force, and track the team, develop operation practitioner in the software development. All right. So why we need to do software development? Because they will support the automation process of the machine learning. So the recycle process, okay, come in to make sure that the end product is fulfill the requirement of the end users. Okay, our end users is a company base, All right, so let's relate just now. Okay, what the relation between the athletes and the job spec that we have in data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, data machine learning engineers and machine learning operators. All right. So now we go to the what happened in the company, right? Okay, where is the location of the data engineers? Okay, for data collection. Okay, what the data exists. Okay, they're looking for the privacy of a specific concern, and then they need to classify whether this is a structured or unstructured data. Okay, towards the end is a data analyst. They do the exploration of the data and then do a pre-processing. Okay, some data bring a noise, some they want to use a noise to get an accurate result. All right, and then data splitting, split the data whether this is a usefulness, visibility, vulnerability, and so on. All right, towards the end is a data scientist. Okay, data scientists they do the create an algorithm based on the problem itself and then train the data whether the data is overfitting, all right, or control the fitting regularly and then turn the hyperparameters. And then there is a communication between machine learning engineers and data scientists to do the analysis. Okay, maybe some evaluation metrics, for example, sensitivity, specificity, accuracy, preciousness of data will be questioned, all right, based on the feature and the training of the inference cost. So those, the last is the machine learning operators. Okay, they go for the serve model. Okay, put the model in the production, and if there is a problem, comment, request from the end users, so they do the re-evaluation, right? Before retrain the model, we go for the machine learning cycle life. Okay, before we go to the machine learning cycle life. Okay, I know we are in the COVID-19 pandemic. To do the performance evaluation of the model prediction from the machine learning, we are using a very important indicator. One is a sensitivity, the second is a specificity. What is a sensitivity? Okay, what is a sensitivity? What is a specificity? In the COVID-19 pandemic in your region, we can say that sensitivity is how many relevant, meaning that's how many 6 people attacked by COVID-19 are correctly identified as having the condition. The condition is in the COVID-19. For example, in Johor Bahru, there are quite numbers of in my area having a COVID-19. So how many 6 people attacked by the COVID-19 in my area? Okay, that's we call as a sensitivity. All right. So in sensitivity, meanings that you can go to this graph, there is no disease. So 100% is considered sensitive. Okay, 100% is a sensitive. The second is a specificity. Specificity, we can say that how many negative selected element, means that how many help people in my area not affected by COVID, using the not having the condition. The condition is a true positive, is a not having the COVID-19. So there is a contradict environment. So you can see to the graph, there is a dot graph, there is a disease. So where is a disease? There is a specificity. There is a C line here. 100% is a specificity able to attack by virus. So the cross of the parabolic graph from the sensitivity and specificity is become most accurate. The B line is a cross between two graphs we call as an accuracy. So this is a 3 element we are focused when we want to investigate the model prediction, right? So I think this is
Thank you, Doctor. So maybe you can share a little bit what is the qualifications, skills, and responsibility, and also maybe the income to be the data analyst and also data scientist. Thank you.
right. This is a common question, kan? I told you this is a more common question. Okay, people looking what type of the qualification. I'm mathematician. I'm a statistic. I have no background on computer science. I have no background on programming skill. So how I want to be a good responsible, okay, to become a data analyst or data scientist, and how about the income? Okay, all right. So this is a question common to my from my student. So I said that data engineers, their responsibility is to maintain the data pipeline. Okay, pipeline means that the how the velocity, the volume, the variety of data you get. Okay, to ensure of data quality, the accuracy, and to design, to develop, to maintain the database architecture. All right, data analyst is a because they are strong mathematics background, so they use a statistic data to describe the data and against the insight, okay, the overall pictures of the data. All right. So of course, like Dr. Lim said, that there is a data execution and data maintenance to create the dashboard and report. Okay, this is for the administration in the company. All right. So data scientists, because they have strong background in mathematics, statistics, and computing, all right, so they do a data accumulation. They develop the algorithm based on the maybe they're using artificial intelligence, support vector machine, all right, extreme learning, all right. There are so many algorithms. They can go for the feature extraction, okay, classification, all right. So to predict a model, they also develop one model, and this data visualization. They can do data modeling. They can do the 3D, okay, multi-dimensional visualization, and so on. And part of the convincing stakeholder. This is very important to convince that the decision making is accurate and convincing. All right, so let's we go to the qualification. Okay, you can see the comparison between data engineer, data analyst, and data scientist. Most of them, okay, almost the same. Okay, all should be have a degree in computer science, statistics, mathematics, economics, and finance. All right. So applied science, business administration. Okay. So for the data scientist, it's more specific. It's really focused on the applied statistics or mathematics. All right, computer because they need to do the programming. All right, and some of them they required for the data science technical course for programming skill in multiple languages, because nowadays, okay, not just using MATLAB Mathematica because we are mathematics, R or SPSS, okay, but they also request to use open source. For example, my student just now, he are doing the open source software, for example, okay, Scilab, okay, Python, TensorFlow integrated with the licensing, that licensing software. All right. So now let's we go to the one of example how this company generate the data, okay, up to the 4 trillion sample per year. All right. This is the personal care product company. All right. So in doing this, okay, product, and then to make sure there is a market, okay, based on the innovative product, for example, in biotech. All right. So the first is a data collection. In this case, data engineers big function to do, okay, data collection, and then data discovery, okay, big data. Data analysts will do the data discovery and vectorization. That vectorization means that combine the data, create the features. Features too is means that you want a similar pixel or similar okay, source of data, all right, similar format or variety of format, because machine learning able to cope, okay, both structured or unstructured data. All right, so data preparation and data modeling is come to the data scientists, okay, because they do the transform, they do a feature reduction, sometimes they do a dimensionally reduction, all right, they do a regression. So this is a common in the mathematics foundation, right? And then machine learning, they go for the model validation and selection. Okay, they are, need to do a comparison some method, and then they do correctionist, and then do a transformation before deployment of productilize and then the model decay tracking. This is the function of machine learning operation before they go to they submit the dashboard or report to the manager. All right. So what is a skill to become a data scientist? People always say that, oh, programming, I need to know heavy auto peak, high level of data flow. I need to know the partitioning. I need to know the data passing between the different processor, for example. No, this is one of part data analyst, but important is knowledge of mathematics and science statistics. This is very important. And then second is you know how to do a programming, especially R, Python, Scilab, all right, or MATLAB, all right. So whatever types, multi languages, support by the company, all right. And then the last is a gathering, selection, transforming data to answer the analytical question, right? So for data scientists, the important is ability to work with the unstructured data. What is unstructured is unlabeled, meaning that you dealing with a variety of data types, for example images, wave, the sound, all right, the video, all right, the text and so on. So able the images, for example. So this is the knowledge of machine learning that you need to have. Others is same as data analyst, all right. So people always say that, why machine learning? What is different between machine learning and big data? Machine learning is a algorithm, is an artificial algorithm to provide the system of ability to be automated, learning and improve the data through the experience. So that is the machine learning. There are so variety of the machine learning algorithm that you can learn. All right, that can you learn. Very easy to learn because there is a software. What is different between machine learning and deep learning? Because in data science, there is a part of the function to do a decision making. So in this case, this part, you can go to the artificial intelligence because this is a higher level to make the business decision making. So in doing that, deep learning is a part of the machine learning because deep learning concentrate on the big data. Concentrate on the size of data should be tera, zeta, penta, and so on. All right. So in the machine learning that I told you, they can cope supervised learning and unsupervised learning. The other one is some data is a combination between the supervised learning and unsupervised learning. We call as a reinforcement learning. All right. So the skill to become the machine learning expert, of course, you have a good in the mathematics, in statistics, in the computer foundation, because some data, when you deal with the deep learning, you need to know the architecture of the high performance computing, all right? So in this case, not just need programming skill, but you need to know how to do the data communication, data gathering, that message passing paradigm, and so on. All right, so this is an expert for the machine learning, not just a artificial intelligence algorithm, for example, support recognition, and then extreme learning. Nowadays people almost go to the popular machine learning algorithm, but you need to know also the platform to do the large path simulation. All right, so what is a skill? There are variety of software. That's why I told you at least we know the multi-programming skill, at least Python or heavy or R, R, MATLAB, all right, and then SPSS, if you are statistic, and then integrated with the Excel or Hadoop. This is a very good because Hadoop can do a distributed memory architecture. So now.
Thank you, Doctor. So, from your students' experience sharing just now, so they already found their direction to be a data analyst and data scientist. So, maybe you can share with the audience today. So, what is the process or the path that they need to go through to become the data scientist and also data analyst?
So, This is a
Thank you, Dr.
okay, a very important question. Okay, let's I continue. Okay, my sharing here. All right. Hmm. Um, to do this to answer this question, I love to draw the my answer in the roadmap. Okay, roadmap to be data analyst and data scientist. Okay, there are 9 elements. I'm not sure this is a part considered in the company. So it's depend on you. Okay, even though you can go for one part, okay, or in the university you can get many courses okay, covered all the part. The first is to be good in, at least you have a good background in mathematics. Undergraduate, most of them is mathematics, especially for mathematics student or statistics student. The third is a programming, all right? So don't say that is data analyst and data scientist for the computer science student. No, it's a basic mathematics and statistic background. And then towards the end is a data handling, machine learning, all right, and then deep learning because sometimes the data is very specific, all right. Do the data visualization and then dealing with the big data, for example, because we deal with the big deep learning, we deal with the big data, and then increase the version of the machine learning software or system that we develop, all right. So the question here is what is the foundation, okay, in mathematics that we need to emphasize. All right, I'm using in my area. I'm so much effort on using ordinary differential equation, partial differential equation. All right, some of you using linear algebra, and then the important is a matrix operation because when we transform from signal to digital, okay, the data is 0 and 1, and then the operation is a matrix operation, right? And then permutation combination. So this is important fundamental in mathematics, right? In statistics, I know, okay, we create the statistical thinking, all right? We do a transformation of fundamental mathematics and statistic theory in practice, in real application. So the works is through a logic simulation. So what is the basic when we can mesh with the machine learning? There are so many, all right? There are so many, for example, okay, multivariate forecast, okay, we can integrate with the machine learning. Okay, to do that, okay, meaning that to engage with the customer, we need to have a software, a system, apps, okay, the result, and then user-friendly application. So in this case, we need to learn some programming language, for example, that I told you, okay, you as a mathematician and statistic, you are quite familiar with the MATLAB, SPSS, Mathematica, C++, Python, R, all right? And then there are so many skill of the data streamless, okay, nowadays, okay, to do a data structure, to do the data handling, to make a matrix operation, okay, by using a different language syntax, okay. The next is a data handling. Okay, I know, okay, when we say that data handling, the data ingestions form in life cycle is moving from one source to other source, all right? And then how to store for further analyze. So that's why data handling is we are work with the data by manipulating when it's required, all right? So who are doing a data handling is a data analytics, okay, or data scientists, all right? In mathematical modeling, how do we handle the data? The first is I need to know from where the data, okay, data source, whether it's come from the device, it's come from the images, GIS, it's come from the FEM, the very nanotechnology images, 10 power negative 9, for example. So I need to make sure that the data is structured or labeled or unstructured or unlabeled, okay, based on the 7 types of data. And then towards the end, okay, I know how to do the data extraction, what the types of the model that I'm going to use. And then since the data is huge because I'm dealing with the big data, all right, so I'm using high performance computing Okay, and then towards the end, I need to design the communication between the data, whether fragmentation strategy or segmentation strategy. So this is my case, okay, because okay, I'm dealing with the big data simulation. For example, I have a data from the electroencephalography. All right, the data is a wave. You can see wave here. So how I transform the data to the digital? I'm using MATLAB. All right, and then how I train the data and testing the data. All right, so in this case, I'm using artificial neural network. All right, and then okay, because the data that I do a transformation is a very huge. Okay, the focus here is I want to find the weaknesses of eyes muscle when we look at the when we focus at a specific point. For example, driver, you read a book, okay, you are really focused. So what happened to your eyes movement and eyes muscle stress? So the data is very huge because I'm looking okay the data for 1 hour. So in this case, I need to partition the data to a number of processor. I want to speed the process of simulation. I want to increase the para performance evaluation. So in this case, okay, I need to use two types of environment. It's center processing unit and graphic processing unit. All right. Okay, the other way to handle the data, all right, I need to make sure that whether the data is images. If images, I can do the segmentation or control, okay, the region, the volume of the specific cell. Yeah, I'm using image monofold and volume estimation to find the volume of the tumor for the specific time. Right. So in this case, I need the MRI images, medical images. All right. So the data is huge. So we go to the high performance computing platform. Okay. Some of the data is a GIS, is come from the geoinformation system. There is images. I can see the the 2D, okay, the layer of the Nusajaya area, for example. All right. So how I can do the analysis? Where is the process of development? Okay, the process of the green area reducing, okay, the land chop, and then the development of building using the GIS images. All right. So in this case, I'm using the machine learning, okay, to do the analysis. All right. In this case, okay, people always say the algorithm. What is an algorithm actually? Okay, algorithm, okay, is a process, okay, to analyze, okay, to train, and then to learn the data. All right. So in this case, we are using semi-supervised learning, all right, because the data is a supervised and unsupervised, labeled and unlabeled. So this is a much more popular nowadays. We call as a supervised learning integrated between the labeled and unlabeled data. Okay, the structured and unstructured data, because the data is come in the variety ways to build the accurate model. All right. So now the popular method, okay, in the machine learning, people looking for the enforcement learning, because okay they can solve the higher order and complex problem. Higher order means that if you go to the Taylor series, okay, when you're using okay Taylor series with the higher order, the result is much more accurate, okay, precise, and the decision making is very good. All right. So this is a potential of the machine learning. They can do a regression, they can do a classification, they can do the dimensional reduction. So means that machine learning able to cope too many environment, supervised and unsupervised learning. All right. For example, here, okay, I'm using I so much, okay, because I deal with the images, I'm using so much on the segmentation process for the machine learning. All right. And then my student, okay, because they have many data, they do the classification, which is a tumor, which is a tumor stage 4, tumor stage 3, tumor stage 2, and tumor stage 1. All right. And this is a function of the machine learning, is depend on the application. Right. Okay, when we said that machine learning tool, you are maybe afraid about the tool. Okay, never mind. Okay, I just said that machine learning can be divided into two parts. One is a licensing and one is not licensing, is open source. So it depends on you. I train my student to do programming based on open source. You know why? Because when we go outside, okay, they are superior. They are marketable, all right, because they are deal many types of multi-programming tool. For example, TensorFlow, Keras, okay, Scilab. So they ever Python, for example, okay, because this is an open source. They can go any companies, and nowadays most of the companies, okay, the big data companies, they are using the open source software. All right. So for the machine learning, okay, there are so many tools here. Okay, for example, Kubeflow, Seldom. Okay, I'm quite familiar with the dashboard. Okay, and then Google Cloud too, because I want to save the data in the cloud, okay, in terms of the high performance computing memory. All right. So to do this, for example, to do the predictive analytics in terms of the observation, monitoring, decision making, okay, we need the artificial intelligence tool, okay, to process the data mining, and then we need the machine learning expert because we want to train, we want to do a learning process, okay, all right, we want to do the testing process, all right, and then we can do the recycle of data and do it again, the process to get a very good predictive analytics, okay, and then for statistics they're using SAS and then R and Python, all right. Okay, deep learning, I many times said to you, okay, this is one of the enhancement of machine learning, okay, because the data is a big, all right, so they go for the method we call extreme learning, all right. So there are so many algorithm for deep learning. You can choose one as a benchmark, and then you can enhance the method. That's I'm looking with my PhD student and master student enhancing, okay, the deep learning method based on the specific or variety of data. Right? So why deep learning become champion? Because they can skip, okay, all the process, for example, image processing, feature extraction, all right, machine learning classification, they can go straight forward, okay, the artificial intelligence method, okay, after do the data execution, and then they can get the result, all right? So I don't want to go more, okay, I just want to, the important stage for you is to do a data visualization. Since I'm mathematics, okay, I'm doing a data modeling to do a data visualization, all right? I'm using data visualization to convert the data into three-dimensional aspect, all right? So in this case, the arts of modeling, okay, the stories, the data organization is a benefit, and this is a need a creativity, okay? You can see here, all right, how I construct, okay, the rule based on the classifier method. Classifier 2 is a method, all right, to do the classification. So the method that I'm comparing is so many, okay, that I said just now, okay, we can do many method, okay, that is all already built in the software itself. And then the important is how to do the visualization. I can visualize the data, which is the abnormal, which is a cancerous or tumorous cell. So the red color is a tumorous cell, the green color is a normal cell. So in this case, we can see that tumorous cells is much more higher now. It depends on the images, MRI images. And then towards the end, I can find the sensitivity, the specificity of the data, and the preciseness of the data. All right. So this is the indicator to show that the data is accurate, can be accepted, okay, or not accepted. All right. So I talk too much on the big data. All right. Why people looking for the big data? Because okay, the problem is a grand challenge. All right. The problem now is involving a big data. It's not difficult to get a data itself. All right. So in this case, there is a hardware and software we need to think about. All right. The software involve the communication protocol. The hardware involve the high performance computing, a big cloud. All right. So because okay, we are doing the concept of the data engineering. Okay. Okay. So I'm always ask you a question, okay, from the early stage. What is different between data, okay, big data and machine learning? Okay, you can see. The big data, okay, this is a collection of the data. They include the collective cell data and the variety of the purpose. But machine learning is very specific. Okay, this is more on the they need a foundation requirement. Okay, for a machine and to teach the data. Okay, whatever they want. Okay, whatever they want. Meaning that if they want the data is focused on the profit. Okay, they want the data focus on the other application, other other products, so they go for alternative way. All right, so the machine learning is using the same algorithm where the big data is and then they train the big data, and then the process is automatic. Okay, so the big data is just existing information. Okay, and then they're looking for the emergence pattern, but they cannot do without machine learning help. All right, so the big data is just provide you a trend, the large scale database. Okay, the volume, the huge volume of data. However, the machine learning, they can process the data, and then they can investigate whether the data is overfitting or in the control. All right, and then the machine learning, the weaknesses is focused on the small data. All right, so for the big data, really big, they go for the deep learning. Okay, so this is a difference between big data and machine learning. The last process, this is a function for the machine learning operations. Okay, what they do is when they have a messy data, messy data, because the users come with the data, editing data, we need to recycle the data, we need to do Git. Git is a distributed version control system for tracking changes in source code during the software development. So we are keep increasing the version of the system, of the software. All right, so because that we allow the people to editing, meaning that there is the same file in the production environment, so the knowledge is branching. The repository is increasing, the library is also increasing. So the important is we want to solve a real application, the real application. Okay, let's I share with you. Um, if I can share with you, the example, the example from my student. Okay, mm, all right. Okay, this is let's I share, if I can share with you the example, the basic, how we can enhance this process of machine learning, automated machine learning. All right, so one of them is this software. All right, we because we are mathematics. Let's I focus. The economy, we focus the software. We focus the software for the moment. Okay, you can see here, we want to classify which images from MRI is tumorous, and not tumorous. We are just using, you can see here, I'm using MATLAB, all right? So this is the way how we do the feature extraction, feature extraction, and then pre-processing. So the important, after do a post-processing, we can describe the tumor at the specific image, 2D images. And then the images is not clear. Sometimes it's not clear. So we need to find other machine learning method. For example, PCA, LDA, there are so many methods, means method, to make sure that the images is clear, all right, clear enough. So let's I go, Dr. Lim trained, I think, 2,000 images. There are different images. Towards the end, we can see that when we bring a new image, comparing with the existing image, we can see the tumor is increasing. Increasing is very clear using the segmentation. Process. We can see this clear pictures of the tumor growth, and then towards the end, we can do the classification. Right? So that we do in the university. So the same process my student can implement, in the industry. For example, okay, one of them big data and data analytic at the Asia. So I think the salary very high, okay, compared to the data analytic at the local company, for example, or a dynamic company, for example. Yeah. So, Kemong, if I want to continue here about the salary, okay, people quite sensitive with the salary, am I right? So, I'm sharing already the salary in Malaysia, ringgit Malaysia, okay. Okay, this is not the latest. I think we can do this data as a comparative. So from this salary, I agree, because when I ask my student, when they be a data scientist, okay, or data and analytics, okay, so they said that their salary is below than 4,000, okay, below than 4,000. Some of them get 3,500, 3,900, 3,000, all right. So it's considered okay compared to the engineers, okay, compared to the engineers for the basic, for the degree, okay, the basic degree, all right. So they're increasing very fast, okay. So this is for software engineers. Now software engineers, okay, be a data analyst or data scientist. For per year, I saw, okay, the salaries in overseas, okay, in overseas, all right, the per year there are many level, in entry level, mid level, and senior level. Okay, this is a comparison between data engineers and data analysts. Okay, you see that data engineers is much work hard to get the uh, visibility of data, okay, volume data, and so on. All right. So now let's we continue to the Dr. Nomi again. Okay, any question from Dr. Nomi?
Okay, Doctor. I can see from your background that you are actively organize workshop in handling big data. For example, CUDA, C++, MATLAB. So maybe you can share how this platform or other platform handle the big data. Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's we go. Okay. Um, Okay, there is so many questions when I ask my student, especially my undergraduate and postgraduate student. All right, I'm teaching numerical. I'm teaching computing system in University Technologies Malaysia. So I'm using mathematical modeling as an example. Okay, to train the data to create machine learning or create the big data simulation using a platform. This is a common question when I start my class. Okay, they said that what is the source, where the source come, okay, where the big data source come. And then some of questions said that, okay, what is a high performance, how to develop high performance computing, all right, what is the descriptive analysis, okay, why we need to deal with the internet of things, what the impact will be the big data analytic to our job. So it's a common. So the basic, okay, information that I want to express here is how to convert from the serial processing to parallel processing, because the data is huge. We cannot do a sequential programming. We cannot do a sequential programming. We need to go to parallel programming. We cannot solve the problem using one laptop, one CPU. We need to combine the CPU, combine the laptop, combine the memory, combine the processor, right? So in this case, okay, we need to do the decomposition of the domain, decomposition of the function. It depends on the problem itself. Okay, I show here is a decomposition of the domain. Okay, domain means that okay, what is the matrix that you are going to emphasize? All right. So this is my journey actually. Before this, I combined a number of CPU. This is in 1990s. Okay, I combining a number of computer. Every computer is sometimes I collect the outdated computer, but now okay, my journey go to the latest generation of computer. Now people looking for the GPU, CPU. I'm using CUDA, okay, integrated with other open source software. All right. So okay, the focus here is we try to minimize, okay, using the cable, using the fiber optic, using the okay, female and male communication, because they will produce high communication costs. Okay, people looking for the service, for example, cloud ecosystem here, because cloud is a very huge memory support. I think okay in the world now the big cloud and maybe is Google. Okay, a very big cloud. Okay, people looking for the comparison between the performance, whether LAPEX, okay, whether GNU, whether this is Cray, all right. So they compare with the machine based on the environment, based on the potential to use the artificial intelligence, all right. And then of course, I told you, okay, when the company use a different platform, different tool, different types of the software and hardware, you need to prepare with the multi-programming languages, okay. Okay, not just R, Python. You need to know how to do the data communication with the specific software to support the communication protocol. Okay, now you can go to Fugaku. They claim this is the world fastest supercomputer, okay, in Japan. And then they said that they can go for analyze big data on the COVID-19, okay, database. All right. So this is what we.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you, Doctor. As we all know, the size of data keep increasing day by day, but the world and including Malaysia has lack number of manpower in data science field. So, can you share with all the audience here, especially the students, what is what they need to expect? What is their expectation for the future of data science, especially in 2021? Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Nomi. Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, because nowadays people looking for the to be a data analyst and data scientist, all right, or data engineers or machine learning operation. All right, so most of them looking for this one. Okay, of course, in 2020, okay, government of Malaysia looking for 20,000 data scientists, data analysts, machine learning machine learning, okay, operators, machine learning engineers, and so on. Okay, when it is stagnant of this post, okay, so how to be a successful means that we keep engaged with to be a data analyst and a data scientist. All right. So we know that data science is a multidisciplinary area. Okay, you can see nowadays I'm dealing with the nano computing. Okay, most of the data is very huge. I'm dealing with the nano computing, all right, and then the database is also huge. So I'm also using machine learning, okay, or deep learning based on the size of data. And then I need to know, okay, the communication uh, protocol to send and receiving the data between the cloud, okay, between the processor, between the memory, all right. And then towards the end, okay, I have a strong statistics and mathematics background, okay, especially to do the some software like IMOS, SPSS, okay, to make sure that I can integrate all the multidisciplinary data to be a good decision making. All right. So I love if I can share with you, okay, for be a successful data scientist and data analyst in year 2020, okay, I focus on the three philosophy. Okay, what is that? Literacy, not just a read and understand, but you can integrate all the multidisciplinary data, all right? And then competent, not just doing the programming, all right, or data communication between the processor, but you need to make sure that everything, okay, at your fingertips, all right? And then the important is the ethics because the data should be, okay, trust, okay, the software should be, okay, visible, okay, acceptable, okay, prediction, okay, good, make a good prediction. So for me, okay, this is a time for you to find a data field in 2020 where the integrated program is including big data and data science. Okay, this is considered as a supplementary skill, and then this is a okay, we develop the primary skill and then help the individual to adjust the position better. All right, whether you want to be a data analyst or data scientist. All right, build trust. Okay, since okay, I know you build trust between employee, between one-to-one communication relationship but you need also develop a trust in various stakeholders with your company, because nowadays using the digital or okay, e-business, we are looking for one to one. Okay, we are looking one to one. So networking is very important because not just connect with the industry leaders, but the one to one. Okay, one to one based on the same professional with you. All right. So the important, okay, leveraging the right data at the right time. For example, in COVID-19, people looking, okay, where the data spread, how to control the data spread. All right. The education 4.0, we are lecturer. Almost the time we are doing an online classroom. We are applying educator 4.0 tool. All right. So we are quite familiar, okay, in this environment. And then the next is economic issues, okay, how the profit, how to control the investment and so on. So all deal with the big data, and we need the expertise in the data analyst and data scientists. All right. So let's we go to the question again. All right. The question is how to be a good, okay, data scientist, data analyst for year 2020. Right. So we're looking for the future for the predictive analytics. Okay, we can go the predictive analytics based on the fundamental aspect, okay, statistics, okay, but we can, okay, integrate it with the machine learning, with the artificial intelligence to make sure the decision making is predictive, is accurate, is good resolution and so on. All right. So what we have now increased the skill, not just in mathematics and statistics, not just good handling the data, but okay, we know the tool, we know the types of tool, okay, the knowledge on the SQL, the structured query languages. Okay, for example, okay, this is very important because it's open source. Hadoop, okay, Hadoop, all right, because when we have the experience, okay, you have environment with the comfortable in handling data from a different sources, because you know that, okay, the sources is coming not just from the device, okay, it's come from the images, it's come from the information system, it's come from the okay, device and sensors, okay. All right, so the third is a skill for the data scientist. Okay, that I told you, the data scientist is more on the visualization and data analysis. Okay, so there is a tool I introduced here is a max lab. Okay, Tableau, SAP. All right, and then talents. Okay, this is a combination tools. Okay, and of course for my student I address them, okay, use the open source system. Why? Because some company they have licensing, some company they don't have a licensing software. So when we do the artificial intelligence, do a machine learning, do the mathematical modeling and simulation, they can support by using the open source like Python and R. All right. Okay. So Dr. Nomi, okay, any question? Okay, before okay, we go to the conclusion. So Dr. Nomi. Mm-hmm. Uh, Dr. Nomi, we cannot hear your voice.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute my mic. Okay, so thank you, Doctor. So that is the prediction. So, so what we need to prepare to be the future data scientist and data analyst? What is the preparation?
All right. So
Why? What?
yes,
And
yes, this
thank
is
you,
a very
Doctor.
hot topic nowadays. Okay, because when we go to okay the future, okay, the future of data scientists, okay, you can see here how we create the data every day, every second, okay. For the next 5 years, 2019, there is 40, okay, big data recorded, okay, in the first 6 months, and then they will increase, okay. I already mentioned in the YouTube, in the data from Facebook, in the data from Google, okay, 44% increase, especially in the pandemic 19, okay, here, where you can see increase very fast. Okay, for of course the market is at 160 billion. Okay, global artificial intelligence market size for 2026. All right, for 25 billion device, okay, involved for 2025. So in 2025, okay, people talk through device and device. All right, for US Air Force produce every 60 seconds 1.8 terabyte, okay, terabyte data. All right, so you can see the simplest myself. Okay, at least I have 4 device. Okay, for one short time. All right, so you can see here I have a 4 device around me. Okay, to show that how important a device to collect the data and do the analysis. Okay, so the challenge for big data now is a data intensive. Okay, because we always use conventional, okay, application. So this is considered as a data intensive and conventional application, okay, or environment will be used to support this big data. All right, maybe because of the volume, because of the higher dimensional of data, and then the complexity of the data. All right, so or spatial of the data. So this is a challenge. There are many types of data, okay, not just a multidisciplinary, but the types of data. Right. So in this process, we need the feature extraction, all right, of the data. We need to do a data reduction or a dimensional reduction. We need to do the classification, category of the data, and so on. So I don't want to go all this process, okay. I know, okay. Okay, I don't want to focus on the types of machine learning that we're going to do, the data dimensionals, okay, but I want to focus on this scenario, all right, where, okay, the data now, since we are using device to device, okay, the data has become messy, all right, so we can represent the data in a numerous tasks or nodes, okay, or a group of the data, okay, or we call as an extremely large, okay, and the dynamic, or sometimes we call as a heterogeneous, many types of the data stream. Right. So what we do, okay, the machine learning, okay, or the big data analytic do, they try to categorize the data to be data more full trustness, more quality and accurate, whether in the 2D visualization or 3D visualization. So you can draw a graph of nodes, you can get a link between the nodes, and then develop a table of the nodes, and then the table of the link. We can design the link. So that's we want how we can do with the data. So this is a challenge nowadays because data is a variety, it's messy, all right? So you can go for okay, the polygon set here. Okay, the data, okay, created especially in the Europe country, all right? So you can see this is the data position over the geography data. Okay, we call this data is a data constellation chart. All right, you can see here Malaysia. Okay, we are small data. Okay, we can control the data. You can see the polygon. Okay, environment. So based on the communication between the device, okay, the honest data connected with the future. So how to get a honest data? In this case, okay, they come with the data security. Okay, data security or cyber security is a solution to do a big data process. All right. So this is a challenge for data analysts, data engineers, data, okay, scientists and the machine learning, because okay, they need to emphasize on the new communication protocol, especially okay, to make sure that there is a standard for secure, for do a data security, okay, especially in this case data transport. Okay, we apply to the data transport. Okay, let's we now go for this video. If I can share with you this video. Okay. Dear Dr. Rami, we share with you this video. Can I go to this video? Okay. We can go to this video. Let's share screen. All right. All right. From here, you can see that the data generate every second, every time, every action, every process using the device. Okay, device talk to device. All right. So now, okay, the importance of data analyst, they create. Okay, people create the data, they can analyze, which is more efficient for the companies. How we want to modify a specific device or product, the specific services, and so on. So there is example, okay, of the data, how the important nowadays people looking for the good device and then the good okay, process, analyze, okay, and then prediction, and then okay, let's we continue, okay, okay here, all right. Okay, so this is the honesty of the data, and then the roadmap of the constellation. Okay, roadmap here. You can see people looking for the peer-to-peer network, and then they do the cryptography. Okay, cryptography, for example, encryption, description. All right, process, and then machine learning. Okay, to make the data more intelligent. And then now this is data for the marketplace, whether this data is available for the financial institution, is develop a smart city. Nowadays, people looking for the smart city, all right, or artificial intelligence industry. Yeah. Okay. There are three philosophy, okay, that we can solve this problem. Okay. The first is literacy. What is a literacy? Literacy, for example, okay, the basic is how to read, how to understand the problem. But the literacy that we want to create here is a data communication. Okay, understand how to read, how to create, and understand how to read the digital data. Okay, digital media, digital visualization, and then do a e-printed material. So this is a literacy, means that the lifestyle is a changes. And then second is a competence. I know you are very competent in terms of the data collection data, analyze data, machine learning, okay, deep learning, the various of the classification, okay, regression, assemble data, and so on. Why competition? Competence, because there is a machine to handle this process. Okay, however, the ethical crossover is very important because the personal responsibility, all right, the beneficial corporate engagement, the successful public, okay, disclose, and then the policy will create you functioning as a in ethicality, okay, ethical, all right, be ethical, all right. So there is a benefit of the humanity in your for the long run, okay. This is a holistic value that you need to emphasize. For example, the intellectual aspect aspects such as the spiritual relation between us to the God, to the Allah, and then the soul, the heart, and how we use the artificial, okay, the brain, okay, to get the knowledge to be more hikmah, more wisdom, and based on the choice of the intellectual that you're going to highlight as lead the career in data analyst and data scientist. So this is a ethical. Okay, ethical is one of the important aspect. So we try to emphasize the three philosophy. All right. So I think Dr. Nomi can you
Okay, Doctor, thank you so much for your very informative knowledge sharing. And then maybe for the conclusion, maybe you can highlight some of the main key point in data science that audience today need to be alert.
Okay. So when we go to the conclusion, okay, when we go to the conclusion, I can conclude, okay, for today, okay, meeting as few here, okay. The first is I'm highlight 7V of the big data. So that will create a job. Okay, these seven: velocity, volume, variety, veracity, visibility, volume, availability. So all will create the specific job. So this is a scope or range or efficiency of the big data analytics solution. So the second is we know that we have a cloud, robot, okay, Internet of Things, automation machine, sensors. This will go through the sustainable production. And then this technology dealing with the smart result. To deal with the smart result, okay, all the jobs specification, for example, okay, data analyst, data scientist, data engineers, data, okay, machine learning, okay, operations, and so on. So this is will create a good result to get a high resolution, accurate, and very good to do the observation and monitoring. We believe that the advanced data analysts and data scientists, okay, will support the fourth industrial revolution because, okay, they will give a good service from data, from the IoT, cloud computing, high performance, okay, computing database. All right. The sustainability and enabling for industrial revolution on data, and then the data is a real time shape between the data provider and enabling the environment big data. And we believe that the artificial intelligence of the big data analyst and the big data scientist will help the sustainability process. All right. And then from the messy data, all right. So we hope that the fourth industrial technology reports that assessing sustainability business potential after this. Okay, because why? Because we know that, okay, all the big data analysts, data scientists able to classify, okay, to structure, to label it the messy data. All right. So we know that to do a decision making from the multidisciplinary skill of the data analyst and data scientist, you can get the enabling data driven for the decision making. Okay, don't forget there are three philosophies can be lead to a career in data analyst and data scientist. What is that? The first is a literacy, the lifestyle. All right. The second is a competence. Okay, we know how to analyze the data with the algorithm, with a very strong mathematics and statistics and computing. All right, and then towards the end is a what's that? Is a ethical, okay, ethical responsibility, wisdom, glory, morality, and then the soul, the spirit, okay, and the important is how we believe, okay, the Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will create an environment for us, okay, to be more intelligent. Can, all right? Okay, thank you very much. And then before Dr. Nomi, before I close, I hope that I can get some feedback from all of you. All right, this is my question. We can write, okay, scan the QR code, all right, or I can write this through the chat, okay, talk chat at the YouTube. Okay, you can click here and then you can answer the question. Okay, the question here is okay, how, okay, which is you're interested, okay, what is a fact to be, you are interested to be, to become a data analyst or data scientist, what is a fact? Okay, there are, I put a 5 point, you can choose, and then there is another question here, you can go to the question, and then you can go to the QR code to scan the question, all right? Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nomi. I pass this session to the Miss Chair, Dr. Nomi Abdul Hadi.
Okay, thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Norma. So do you want to share the result of the survey right now or just keep for later? Later, okay. So thank you so much for your informative and impactful knowledge sharing today. So it is an honor for us in FSKM UiTM Shah Alam to have you as our speaker today, and we are looking forward to have another session with you in future, inshallah. And then that ends our webinar for today. Okay, do you want to share the result just now or later? Not today, Doctor?
Not today, because
Okay, okay.
we are collecting the data. We are
Okay, so
big data.
okay. So thank you so much for all the audience. Okay, to Associate Professor Dr. Norma. So with that, the webinar today is come to the end. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.